Imagine scrolling through your phone late at night, the blue glow lighting up your face when suddenly you see a headline that stops you in your tracks. The news is everywhere. A world-famous leader, Imran Khan, might be dead. The words seem almost surreal, and your heart skips a beat as you try to process what you're reading. For days, social media was ablaze with whispers, frantic questions, and wild speculation. Was he really gone? Had something happened to him in prison? Was this just another political stunt, or was it the unthinkable truth? The silence from authorities only made things worse. No one had seen or spoken to him, not even his family or lawyers. The official channels offered nothing but vague statements, fueling even more anxiety. In this vacuum, the wildest theories took root, fueled by the government's animosity and secrecy. Every conversation seemed to spiral into new, more dramatic possibilities. The rumor became the #1 topic everywhere, dominating social media and daily conversations from Lahore to London. It was as if the entire world was holding its breath, waiting for answers that never seemed to come. For his followers, Khan is more than a politician. He's a symbol of hope, resilience, and change. The idea that he could vanish so quietly, without a trace, was simply unbearable for millions. This uncertainty exposed deep divisions in Pakistan, a beloved leader in prison, and a powerful establishment seemingly determined to erase him from the national story. The tension was palpable, and the stakes felt higher than ever. The rumors, true or not, brought this conflict into sharp focus. Suddenly, every news anchor, every headline, and every tweet became part of a larger battle for truth and control. It was a stark reminder of the high stakes in Pakistani politics, where truth is elusive, power is perilous, and the fate of a nation can hinge on a single rumor. The digital wildfire showed just how quickly uncertainty can grip a nation, spreading from phone to phone, city to city, until no one is sure what to believe. In Pakistan, the line between rumor and reality is dangerously thin, and sometimes the difference is just a matter of who speaks first. And in this case, the silence was louder than any official statement, echoing through every home, every street, and every heart. So, where did this explosive rumor come from? What sparked such a frenzy, not just online but across the country and even beyond its borders? It all began on social media, where vague but alarming posts started to circulate. These posts, often from accounts based outside Pakistan, hinted at something terrible happening. The rumors pointed to a tragedy inside AdialaJail, the very place where Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister, was being held under tight security. At first, these were just whispers, uncertain, unconfirmed, and easy to dismiss. But as hours passed with no official denial, those whispers grew louder, echoing through every corner of society. Social media algorithms picked up the chatter, amplifying it until the topic was impossible to ignore. Suddenly, everyone's feeds were filled with speculation, worry, and outrage, creating a feedback loop that only intensified the anxiety. The context made things even more tense. Khan had already been in prison for over 2 years, but now he was placed in total solitary confinement, cut off from the world in a way that felt ominous. No family visits, no legal consultations, no phone calls, just a complete blackout. For his supporters and loved ones, this was more than concerning. It was terrifying. The sudden secrecy made supporters and family deeply suspicious, fueling their fears and suspicions about what might be happening behind those closed doors. The government's silence was interpreted not as a sign of calm, but as a deliberate cover-up. Each unanswered question only added to the sense of crisis. People began to reason, if Khan was truly safe and well, why not simply show proof? Why keep the nation in the dark? The absence of any credible update led many to fear the worst, and speculation quickly filled the void left by official silence. This rumor wasn't just online mischief. It was a direct result of the state's own actions, or rather, its inaction and refusal to communicate. In the vacuum left by silence, fear and suspicion flourished, spreading from person to person, street to street, until it became a national crisis. The state's lack of transparency created the perfect storm, one where rumors could thrive and trust in official sources was shattered. The death rumors thrived, spreading like wildfire across newsrooms, social media, and everyday conversations. This was all because of a wall of silence from Pakistani authorities, who refused to address the growing speculation. Despite clear court orders, Khan's family and lawyers were repeatedly denied access to him in AdialaJail, left waiting for hours with no answers. This wasn't just a bureaucratic delay, it was a deliberate policy of isolation, violating both court directives and basic human rights, and sending a chilling message to the public. By cutting Khan off, the state operated outside its own laws, fueling wild speculation about his condition and intentions behind the silence. Supporters and critics alike asked, if he's healthy, why hide him? Why not simply show proof of life and end the rumors? The government offered no explanation, no statements, no updates, not even a denial to calm the growing storm. In the age of instant information, absence is more powerful than a lie. Silence breeds suspicion, and every unanswered question becomes a new rumor. Instead of making Khan irrelevant, the secrecy made him the center of attention, dominating headlines and social feeds. Had his family been allowed regular visits, the rumor could have been debunked in hours, restoring some sense of normalcy. But their own anxiety only amplified public fears, as every tear and unanswered call became evidence of something sinister. The blackout was not just a passive oversight, it was an active choice that directly fueled the crisis, leaving a nation desperate for answers. As rumors intensified, Imran Khan's family reached a breaking point. On November 29th, his son Qasim Khan, from the UK, made a public plea. "We demand proof of Imran Khan's life." This was no longer about politics, it was a son's desperate call for confirmation. Qasim described his father's 6 weeks in a death cell, with zero transparency from authorities. The family's fears included slow poisoning, drastic weight loss, and deteriorating eyesight. Their public statements were a last-ditch effort to force the authorities to reveal the truth. The call for proof of life turned a social media frenzy into a serious human rights issue. Qasim also appealed to the international community and human rights groups for intervention. The family's campaign forced the issue into the global spotlight. Why did the government enforce such risky isolation? PTI leaders say it was a calculated strategy to break Khan's spirit. The goal: pressure him into exile and silence his political influence. This tactic isn't new in Pakistan. Leaders have been forced into deals with the establishment before. By cutting Khan off from everyone, authorities hoped he'd give up. But those close to him insist he'd never accept such a deal. The government's refusal to release any proof of life only fueled instability and criticism. Releasing a photo could have rallied his supporters. Silence risked backlash. Instead of sidelining Khan, the isolation made him the center of national conversation. The strategy backfired, exposing the government to international scrutiny and energizing Khan's base. Imran Khan's family and PTI didn't stay silent. They fought back in the courts and on the streets. His sisters and party activists held sit-ins outside AdialaJail, demanding transparency. These protests were a bold challenge to the authorities, despite the risk of harsh crackdowns. PTI warned that local protests could escalate nationwide, pressuring the government. Legally, Alima Khan filed a contempt petition against the jail superintendent for violating court orders. The family used both protest and legal action to keep the issue alive and demand accountability. Their resistance ensured Khan's well-being couldn't be swept under the rug. The campaign combined public pressure with legal strategy to fight the blackout. Beyond the death rumors, serious concerns about Imran Khan's health persisted. His family and lawyers reported drastic weight loss and deteriorating eyesight, likely worsened by solitary confinement. The fear of slow poisoning, rooted in regional political history, haunted his supporters. The inability to verify his health or food only deepened suspicions. For many, his suffering transformed the issue from politics to a matter of life and death. These health fears made the rumors seem plausible and urgent. The demand for independent medical evaluation became critical. The crisis drew international attention, with figures like US diplomat Zalmay Khalilzad demanding transparency. Khalilzad's comments added weight to the family's pleas and put Pakistan's government under a global spotlight. Qasim Khan appealed to human rights groups for urgent action. Internationalizing the issue brought external pressure on the authorities. The world was watching, making it harder for the government to ignore the situation. In today's interconnected world, internal actions have global repercussions. The combined domestic and international pressure became impossible to withstand. Finally, on November 30th, PTI Senator Khurram Zishan confirmed Imran Khan is alive in AdialaJail. The immediate crisis ended, but deeper questions remained. The rumors' power revealed the fragility of information in a polarized environment. When state institutions lose credibility, people turn to social media's echo chambers. The information blackout was a disastrous miscalculation, creating a vacuum filled by fear. Secrecy proved more dangerous than transparency, destabilizing the country and damaging the government's standing. This episode symbolized Pakistan's ongoing struggle for its future. It highlighted Khan's enduring popularity and the state's extreme measures to silence him. The rumor was false, but the story behind it exposed the deep anxieties and fierce loyalties shaping Pakistan today. In the end, the silence spoke volumes about the nation's political crisis.